So one thing I've noticed about like people, like black people generally, wherever they are located, black Americans, black people in Africa, the Caribbeans, is they don't take into consideration what their individual choices do to the general race itself, how it conditions the mindset. We don't know that people are conditioned. 80% of the population are below average, like when it comes to income. 80% of the population. So people that are below poverty line are up to 50%. So whether you like it or not, when you're speaking, you're almost speaking to like 80% of the population. Those are the people you should try to condition their minds. In the trenches area, which is the low income, from average to low income earners, or below average to low income earners, they believe the more children you have, the more that your chances of being like lifted off poverty, like you have plenty kids and one of the kids will come and remove you from poverty. That's the general belief. I know someone, a man that is related to me, that has 21 children. I'm not playing. 21 children from 5 women. So there's this ideology that one of them is going to make it and take them out of poverty. But what this is actually doing is it's making life difficult for all of the kids generally, and just the society at large. Is making things difficult. For instance, bank work, from what I've heard, used to be like this prestigious work that you can do. The salary is good, the working hours are good, because there were very few bankers available. So if banks can get their hands on one, they pay them properly. But because of overpopulation, bank work is now one of the most useless work you can do. It's stressful, the hours are terrible, and the pay is terrible. So the more kids you have, the poorer you will get. So this idea from people like in like rural communities and people below average salary earning, thinking that the more kids you have, the more your chances of getting lifted out of poverty, is so sad. It's beyond sad. Another one. Let me say this first. I saw a post on Twitter. Elon Musk was following a post, like a page on Twitter that was that they were saying that black people have low IQ than every other race. When I saw it, I was really upset, but then I calmed down to think about it. We are intentionally breeding people with low IQ. It's not like, if you look around, like if you look at the world and stuff, you see that black people are one of the most talented people in every field. In almost every field, there are black people there. Nigerians are doing it like all over the world. Black people are so talented, but how can you say black people have like low IQ more than any other race? If we want to be honest with it, we are intentionally breeding people with low IQ. For instance, there's this craze about going to the village to take a wife. We all know that like men don't like being challenged. So because of that, when they want to marry, they look for somebody that is like lesser than them, both financially, mentally. So because of that, a lot of men go to the village to get a wife. Now, the girls they get from the village are women without like ambition. Their whole conditioning is, I'm here to make babies. Now, there's this saying that if you educate a man, you educate a man. But when you educate a woman, you educate the whole community. Because women are the ones that handle children. Putting this into consideration, you go to the village to get a wife simply because you feel like, okay, she will not challenge me because she doesn't have sense. The only thing she knows she's good for is giving birth and raising children. And by raising, it's just doing the physical work, not the brain work. So these women, they don't see themselves as anything. They don't have any form of self-esteem or confidence. They are now the ones raising kids. How do you want the society to function? You can see the disadvantage of it, like firsthand. We saw the video of a girl that went to beat up her fellow girl, stripped her naked, sent her nudes to her WhatsApp contact because she slept with her boyfriend. Excuse me, do you see how low functioning that is? Then we see stuffs like adult women or anybody just chewing chewing gum in public, like, you know, that loud, just like goats. Apology for waiting, I say. Anyway, moving on. That is such a low functioning behavior. Like when I see women in public, women in their 50s in public chewing chewing gum, doing that loud sound, all I can think of is this one is raising kids. This one has raised kids. So you see, we are intentionally breeding people with low IQ. We can't blame anybody for, well, I'm blaming them, it's not their business. Everybody should mind their business. There's a tweet again that I want to talk about. The tweet, the girl was talking about no woman is truly happy unless she's married and stuff like that. Like, are you guys getting what I'm talking about? Like, these women were raised by women that they don't have any form of ambition for themselves and for the race. Anything you're doing, you have to understand that you're putting your race on the line. So it's not just you, it's not just your ambition, it's your entire race, how you people are perceived. So these women raised women that feel like, if I'm not married, I'm nothing. I heard a woman in 2024 say, as a woman, no matter what you've achieved in life, if you don't have a man, you are nothing. Like, that was what the woman said. Now, she said, if you don't have a man, it doesn't matter if that man is same age with your grandfather. It doesn't matter if you don't like the way he looks. It doesn't matter if he's badly behaved, he's beating you up and down. It doesn't matter. As long as he has a pale knees, that's what matters. So we're marrying women that don't have any form of self-esteem, any form of self-worth, any form of situational awareness. Those are the women that are at the forefront of raising the next generation. It's a recipe for disaster. This whole liberation of Africa, it will not happen until we start breeding children based on the woman's brain capacity instead of how used you feel like her vagina is. This is a case I know of. I don't want to mention names because I'm starting to see family members in my shit. So this man came to the village to marry purely virgin. So he met the girl, he liked her. Oh, she's very obedient, she cooks, she cleans, she has the capability to do these things, and she'll be obedient. You know, the monkey say, monkey do type shit. I don't know if that's the word to use. Anyway, so he married her. That's all I know. I don't know. I don't know where they are now. I don't know anything about them. And, you know, let's just say they lived happily ever after. The only problem is she already has a child. She was one of the teenage pregnancy issue thing, and she gave birth. Then years later, this man came and said they should look for a wife for him, somebody that is this. The mother, like, from the get-go, already owned that baby. People were already suspecting that it's like this baby is not for this woman. But they were able to plan it. It's we, the people that were familiar with them, that actually knows who owns that baby. But somebody married her because he thinks, okay, this one, she's not touched and stuff. But I stayed in the city, I stayed in the village. I can wholeheartedly tell you, people in rural areas are more sexually active than people in urban areas, because any place where there is no any other form of entertainment, sex becomes their only form of entertainment. So from a very young age, the kids are groomed from a very young age. Let's put that aside. But picking a wife simply because you don't want to be challenged, you don't want somebody that has a thinking capability, is hurting the race. There's that. Secondly, if you know that's what you want, you pick up the slack. But unfortunately, people that do that, they don't even want to participate in that aspect. For instance, I saw a guy that was complaining that our mothers that made us hate our dads, that because he now gave an example of what his wife did. He said his son did something. When he came back, the wife said you should beat him. And he's like, no, this is something that is normal. That woman, her brain is, we already know. These are people that they don't even know what's happening in the country, let alone in the world. They don't know how the world works. So if you pick someone based on that, based on you feel like they don't know anything, when they start behaving like someone that doesn't know anything, it's not women's fault. I've seen intellectual women that raise kids like from when they are like 10 years old. They will tell you something you don't know, you as an adult. They are so vast in their knowledge. They know the proper history, not the bullshit we're being taught in schools. They know a lot of stuff. But this other group of women, they don't know anything. I know a woman that when her son comes back from school, wherever her daughter is, she will call her, go home and go and dish food for that boy. No matter how much she complains, I'm doing something. Like, I'm trying to do something here. She will go home and go and dish food. When I asked her why, she said, you don't know that a man is not supposed to put his hand in a pot. And I was like, and I asked her, will it pennies fall off if he puts his hand in a pot to dish food for himself? She just looked at me and she smiled and she didn't answer again. So you can see the side effect, and it's not just hurting the country, it's hurting the whole race. So These are things that we should be putting into consideration when, like, if you're someone that is interested in giving birth, not everybody's interested in giving birth, not everybody's interested in getting married, both men and women. If you don't have the mental capacity to understand that that's your business, doesn't mean everybody's like you. So yeah, these are things we are doing to like hurt our race, and if we want the liberation of Black people to happen, these are some of the changes we should put into consideration. Bye.